Trump is turning on Fox News after the network was one of the first and, until just this week, only network to call Arizona for Biden, seriously narrowing Trump's path to 270 electoral votes. And while Trump has not publicly spoken to reporters since the race was called over the weekend, that's the longest stretch of his entire presidency without speaking to reporters, he likely doesn't plan to leave the spotlight anytime soon. Here to discuss is Bloomberg media reporter Jerry Smith. Jerry, how big of a threat is Trump to Fox News if he continues to go rogue like this?
Yeah, I mean, if he continues to attack Fox News on Twitter and steer his fans to rival outlets like One America and Newsmax, there's a chance that some of those Trump supporters could actually end up watching Newsmax, and the ratings for Fox News could decline. But a lot of people, they don't really think this is a serious threat to Fox News. Fox News has weathered a lot of storms over the years. The sexual harassment scandal, the death of the founder, Roger Ailes, the departure of a lot of their high-profile talent like Bill O'Reilly, Megyn Kelly, Glenn Beck. They're still the most watched cable news channel by quite a margin. So they've weathered a lot of storms. I mean, Donald Trump is not only attacking them on Twitter, he's also reportedly planning his own rival media empire, which is something that's been rumored for even over 4 years when he was still a candidate in 2016. I think some people look at all of this as just Trump and the art of the deal and him trying to keep his options open. When the dust settles and he leaves office, he could potentially sign a lucrative deal as a paid contributor to Fox News or one of these other competing news outlets. So I think that it's Trump is just it's hard to really tell what he's planning right now. But certainly it seems as though the relationship and the coziness between Fox News and Trump has diminished recently.
Jerry, you mentioned these sort of upstart networks that are trying to fill a vacuum of Fox News viewers if they're actually leaving the network. Places like Newsmax TV and One America News Network. How much smaller are these now compared to Fox News, which has absolutely been a stalwart in conservative media?
They're quite a bit smaller. One America isn't actually measured by Nielsen, so it's hard to tell how many viewers they have, but it is quite a bit smaller than Fox News, and Newsmax is as well. Their ratings have inched up in recent days, but they're still, much smaller audiences than Fox News. Newsmax was founded by Chris Ruddy, who is a friend of Donald Trump's. And Newsmax in the last couple of days has really made a point of not calling the election for Joe Biden. And, I've seen this as a way to really curry favor with Donald Trump and some of the Trump supporters who are skeptical still of the election results.
Yeah, I wonder, too, if that is a real opportunity, like an inflection point for these upstart media networks, because there's also this separation between what President Trump doesn't like about Fox, which seems to be its daytime programming, the more news-focused reporting, and then the primetime stars like, Hannity and Tucker Carlson and Laura Ingraham, because it still seems like he's promoting their reporting on his Twitter feed.
Yeah, and that's right. I mean, he's still very much, supporting Sean Hannity, Tucker Carlson publicly. When people have to understand that there are two Fox Newses. I mean, there's the primetime opinion hosts who have the large megaphones and the large audiences, the Hannitys, Tucker Carlsons. There's also the news division, which has people like Chris Wallace and Shepard Smith before he left for CNBC. And they, were not afraid to occasionally push back on Trump and much to his frustration. It's interesting to see how, Trump is supporting the opinion host still. I think he even tweeted late last night his support for Sean Hannity's program. So it is very much you get a little bit of whiplash when you follow it, because on one hand, Trump is tweeting his attacks against Fox News, and then a couple hours later, he's tweeting nice things about Fox News. And I think it potentially means that that relationship is still very much in flux, and what happens to Trump after he leaves office and whether he still appears on Fox News will be something interesting to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's, when it comes to President Trump, one guarantee post-presidency is that he will find a way to remain in the spotlight. Bloomberg media reporter Jerry Smith, great to have you on the show. And
the biggest stories the moment they happen from around the globe. Subscribe to Bloomberg Quick Take now for insight in an instant.